What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the ZnZerna Music Hour. My name's PT Vernon. We've got some special stuff for you tonight. I've got behind me here, this is a metal plate with an electromagnet and some bits of metal on it. And that allows me to create this fire type noise that you're hearing. What's up, footbags? It's good to see you. I am currently giving those astronaut sounds by this bit of equipment that I have. What I've got is 4 coils, like my Esperfield coils. But instead of being Esperfield coils, they are being fed by my sampler. So I can run any samples that I want through the effect chain that I've got for the Esperfield. I can also capture different electronic noises and run those through the effects of the Esperfield. So, what's cool is I can capture stuff from the electronics, like this whistling sound that I've got here. And with the tensor, I can then play with that sound. So now I've captured that sound as a loop. What's up, freezing? Yeah, we are freezing the physics. That's kind of exactly what we're doing. I want to make sure that I'm not monitoring the mic. Check 1. Oh, I should not be feeding the mic through my headphones. That's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 7. There we go. Now I'm better. Check 1. Okay, cool. So now I can manipulate the pitch of that. And this is this new system. I can go twice as high. Oh, it's good to have y'all up in here. So I've got the new setup. It really got solidified after the show this Sunday, and I'm gonna share some of the stuff from that show. The part of the set where we did our thing, me and Eric performed a couple of Trauma Laverne songs. I'll be sharing that part of the set with you later on in the show. But after that show, I gotta tell you, that show was new feeling. It felt a lot calmer than I usually do. And it just felt very right. The listening room turned out to be quite living up to its name. They really enforced quiet amongst the audience, and that really made me feel heard as an artist and made me feel kind of, I don't know, just calm before the show. It was a delightful experience. Drink drinks, y'all. Raytheon mug. So I've got this plate behind me, running the bits of metal, and I can turn up the fluctuations and get more crackling on that fire. Oh, Raytheon hat. Raytheon is Dark Secrets. This mug is a terrible thing. It's a testament to the banality of evil that I have this mug. I don't celebrate Raytheon at all. They fucking suck. You know, so why do I have the mug? Well, the mug was given to me by somebody important. And it reminds me of them. So even terrible things can be transmogrified to energy. The mug may be bugged. So tonight I'm going to be doing a cover of a song by Me Without You. It doesn't bug me if the mug is bugged. That's just more listeners. So I've got the Esperfield tuned up into a B minor. Jason, you got to come down and pay a visit because we got to talk about the tarot and how it relates to musical harmonics. It's something that I can't talk to everybody about, but the relationships between the cards line up with the relationship between harmonics as laid out by the circle of fifths. Alright, so we've got the fire crackle, we've got the Esperfield, we've got a few things that I've already captured. One of the things about this new setup is that the Esperfield is running through the MPC into the reverb. And that means whatever's in the tensor is moving through. Oh, Delaney, I'm so glad you made it. Ow. Queen, what's up? So happy to have you. We're just going to be playing these tunes. So you know you can kick back, relax. Got a couple things that I've already captured on the MPC, both the Rumble of Ancient Times and the Esperfield, and anything I run through these magnetic coils is coming into the MPC so I can sample it. I've already gotten that sample as well as this one. Another thing that's sort of evolved now with the setup is that although I am using very good to have you here. Good to have a lot of dust cats in the building. Something funny about the dust cat itself. It was just discovered by some of the higher ups at Paul Reed Smith Guitars that people have this tattoo. And it's caused some amount of curiosity on their part. Ha ha ha! So crazy. Yeah, we got like 12 people got the dust cat tattoos on them. And a lot of them obviously work at Paul Reed Smith. Oh, one of the guys that is kind of high up there, my man Sean, has a big ZnZerna tattooed on his arm. And that was one of the first ones that was noticed. And it's funny because they were like, well, at least it's not on your ass. Hey! JD. Good to see you. Good to, I say see. Good to know that you exist. These times are crazy. It's good to know friends exist. I am gonna get into this Me Without You cover. I've got some stuff. So, I am sure that the cat has a butt, but you don't see the cat's butt in the tattoo that is on a butt. All right, let's let me see here. I kind of like that, so I'm gonna sample it. I like to get 10 or 11 seconds. Thanks. Yeah, I feel like 3 views are, 3 views will do the trick. Get low, get high, get face-to-face. Everybody, obviously, we all love face-to-face as humans, as hominids. I've been listening to a lot of stuff about the left brain and the right brain, and I'm going to repeat something that I said on my Facebook earlier, which is that in the Lover's card, in the tarot, in the Lover's card, there are 3 characters. There's the angel, the woman, and the man. The woman's eyes are on the angel. The man's eyes are on the woman. There's additional symbology that you can unravel on the card, but I won't get into it. But when you think about this in terms of the left and right brain, it can show you one of the important revelations of alchemy. Okay, so I had started saying that the rumble of ancient times is beginning to take the place of Mononoke. Mononoke is great, but it lacks some of the character that the rumble of ancient times has. Watch this. I'm gonna bring up the rumble of ancient times now. Upright bipeds. Absolutely. Greatly satisfied king. On the same stem to announce the same thing. The second appeal sought to sweeten the deal. The silver shot, terror shot. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Jason. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. It is very melancholy. So I've got this. I gotta make sure that the levels on these drums are correct, which means I'm gonna give away one of the sounds, but it's okay. I just want to make sure it's not too loud when it comes through. That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Jason, I feel like you've probably heard of Me Without You. I used to be really skeptical of them, but over the years, I've really come to love them. And part of it is because Ariel Bryant, my sweet babe, my love, Ariel Bryant, she's a big fan of Me Without You. And we are both big fans of the song King Beetle on the Coconut Estate. I don't know if any of y'all have ever heard of this song. Alright, I might as well give it a shot. Might as well give it a shot. That's the sun. The hours grew late. Alright, we're gonna try it. As the night grew and the hours grew late, day held upon the coconut estate. Check 1, 2. Yo, what up, Josh? Check 1, check 1. I'm gonna try and yell into the mic.
mark tracking activities from which he went. And 24 hours, 1 minute,
condenser has a overdub, which means that I can build up these. Jason, you know, this has the ability to just jump to these fits. The tensor can just turn something into a fifth of itself, which is really nice. We know thirds and fifths are really nice. I kind of want to experiment with the ROAT because right now we've been pulling a lot of clean tones from this thing, and I'd like to get really filthy with it. Watch this. The thing about the Rumble of Ancient Times is you can play with how the oscillators interact and fight with each other. If you want to see someone else who's real dope with the ROAT, you should check out Footbag's show on Sundays, live from the depths. I believe that one starts an hour later than mine at 8 o'clock. Sundays, 8 o'clock Sundays. Alright, so, yeah, check that out if you like this type of shit. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. Let's mess with this summing algorithm. So the cool thing is you're not really playing with the tuning. So if you have the two oscillators in tune, what you will get when you mess around with the way that they interact is harmonically relevant stuff most of the time. And then you can record little sequences. All right, I'm gonna take it to the. Thanks. I love that that firecracker gun looks like corn. Thinking about corn. Not about eating it, just about the history of corn. People's relationship with food and how you are what you eat used to be understood on a much more real level. Okay. Let's see here. Hot dog. Okay, let's go to. All right, so. So, the next few minutes, habeas corpus. For some reason, I'm blanking on, what do you mean, habeas corpus for the lab? Now watch this, though. This is from Sunday's performance that I did with Eric Akers called The Listening Room. Rin, I'm really excited for you to hear this. JD, you too. All right. Here we are. Cool. And it's gotten dark outside, but not here. Let me turn this back up. Oh yeah, there was a rather large audience. They were all seated. It was a real splendid show. Yeah. Yeah, definitely no click track. It's just a machine noise. Not quite vibrating coins, but vibrating washers. I'm giving it some randomized signals, and then it's also randomized simply because it's analog stuff. The coins move around and they change the way that they interact, so it's all right. Gonna say goodnight. I always thank my dust cats, but it's really good to have one of my dust cats. Rin, Cat, JD. Good to have you both in the building for our show tonight. I'm glad that I could do the thing for you, that we can vibe out together. So a big thank you to all of my dust cats. Josh, Seas Futures, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm really glad you enjoyed that stuff that me and Eric did. You have a good night. Thank you to Erica Pontiac, Melissa Schick, Van Dasher, Rin Cat, Gerard Stoltz, Kenny Creech, Mikey, Sam Seeger, my Zona Cats, Austin Avalanche, Snell, Jen Dudley, Anna Cat, Wayne Anderson, Austin Cat, Scarlett Herrera, Visitor 10, and Eric Akers, who is the bassist that you just saw on stage. Incredible human being. Dogfuck, my Lumi Cat, thank you for existing. Dave, there you are down on the wheel. If you weren't here for it, that version of King Beetle and the Coconut Estate was for you. I love you, sweet babe. Barry Cat, Royal Blue. Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. Don't limit yourself. I'll share something real quick with you. Recently, I had the idea of addiction reframed for me as the narrowing of possibility. You don't really believe that you could do or be anything but what you have started to make your pattern. And the flexibility to break patterns is what makes people strong. The ability to build patterns too, but the ability to break patterns is very important for a person to be healthy. And what I like about that view on addiction is that you can pull back and see that actually all of us might be limiting our possibility and our potential. We may be addicted to patterns. A thing doesn't have to be like quote unquote addictive, quote unquote physically addictive, to be an addictive pattern that you have sort of built inside your head and now accept based on memorization and comfortabilities. That's the way that you should be. But we all have the freedom to change. And so I hope the music in your life makes a progression that makes sense for you. And I hope the evening is good to you. Until next week, this is the ZnZerna Music Hour. P.T. Burnham signing off. Have a good night, y'all.